It's over? Oh, fuck me. Seriously, I missed the whole damn thing. Oh, dang it, I gotta watch it again? Oh, pause. Oh my god. Oh, fuck me. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. The Perverts Have Spoken. Yes, episode 3. I have awoken from my purge-induced coma so that I can finish off the series once and for all unless they make more. Who knows? And I am doing so by reviewing the final movie, or at least as it is right now, The Purge Anarchy. Yes, The Purge Anarchy. Now, instead of the claustrophobic single family trapped in a house with a bunch of psychopaths, we actually have a more open type of movie here, taking place in the downtown city area, and we're not just focused on one set of protagonists, but a couple different ones. We have a husband and wife who are about to separate, traveling to their sister's place for some reason. I don't know. If you were planning on visiting your sister and the purge was happening, maybe, you know, show up a couple days early, right? I'm just saying. I'm just gonna put that out there, you know. Anyways, then we have a waitress and her daughter, along with her aged father. And then we have a lone wolf who's going to create some mayhem of his own because, well, he was wronged in the past, and tonight, he can get his revenge. So, basically what happens is the man and wife, they get screwed over by a bunch of purgers, and their car breaks down, and now they have to survive the night. And the mother and her daughter, they find out that their, I guess, one of their neighbors, who seemed like an okay guy, actually doesn't want to. He wants to get all rapey time in their face, breaks into their home, but some weird paramilitary elite squad shows up, kill him, and then kidnap them so that their leader can have a private purge, which basically means more rapey time. But they end up being saved by the lone wolf who, you know, he was thinking he should just keep driving, but he couldn't help it. There is a good core in him, and he decides to save them. The man and wife, the husband-wife duo, ends up hiding in his car, and when they all get back, it's like, oh, you know, okay, I'll save you. And while they escape, a bunch of armor-piercing bullets F up his car, and now he needs a ride to get to his objective. And the mother says, hey, I have a friend. If you can get us to my friend's house, she's got a ride. You can borrow her ride and then go do what you got to do. And so he agrees. And that's basically the plot of the story, is them trying to traverse through the treacherous downtown area while psychopathic murderers are going about purging. And yeah, I mean, it's more like an action film than it is a horror film. I mean, there's still some, I guess, horror elements, but really it's more action-packed. Which is sort of a good thing, because the last movie, the first one, Purge, was kind of boring. I mean, this one at least starts out stronger. The characters, they actually develop them, so we kind of care about these characters throughout the story and really, you know, worry about and want them to survive. So we actually get some emotional weight in this one as opposed to the first one. And honestly, it's got a pretty good pace. There are very rarely I'm going, oh God, get on with it. No, it really worked going from step A to B to C to D. And besides the, I guess, the silliness of the premise, now, I mean, it's gotten kind of silly, a bit over the top. Once again, they gotta preach about, oh, the evil rich people, the poor people, the victims, and pound you in the face with the same fucking message as the first one. We got it! We saw the first one! And yes, if we didn't see the first one, you could have just done it in like a couple sections, but no, you had to keep doing it, man. Fuck off! We're not dumb, okay? We figured it out at the beginning, so shut up about it. I mean, yeah, those parts were kind of weak, you know, the sort of pseudo-revolutionary, which we never really hear about what happens to them in the end. Spoiler alert, I guess, but it's just really, really stupid in that part. And of course, the whole racial overtones again, is the freedom fighters are people of minority status versus those rich white people, those evil rich white people. I mean, come on, how cliche can you get? Let's get a little bit more original. I mean, you had an original idea, and then you had to go all preachy bullshit on us. You know, and I don't want that in my movies. I don't want that in my action film. If I want to watch a political something, I'll watch a political something. But this is supposed to be a horror/action movie, so I want to get people's heads exploding there. Well, there's some decent violence in here. A lot more violence than the first one, so that's some kudos there. But overall, I think that they still had a good premise, but they just don't know what to do with it. They just don't know how to make it right. Because in a way, they kind of did what Hostel 2 did, coming off of Hostel, which was, okay, you know, let's try to see it from the perspective of the bad guys, or not necessarily a perspective, but let's get a little bit into the more of the bad guys' modus operandi. And they sort of do that with this one, where you had guys going out there not to purge, but to find people and kidnap them to sell to people to purge, you know, and things like that. And of course, the paramilitary group with the trucks. I mean, that's kind of a interesting thing. And overall, I mean, a lot more entertaining than the first one. So I'm going to give it my overall impressions of this one is going to be 3 out of 5. It's a decent, above average action film. As a horror movie, maybe not so much. I mean, at least the characters are a little bit more interesting. Get a little bit more feeling for them than you did in the first one. A bit more violence, but it's more gunplay violence. But still, and it moves fast, so you don't get any of those boring sections where you just kind of get on with it. But in the end, you know, it's better, and it's good, but it's not great. It doesn't excel. It doesn't bring itself up a lot higher than the first one. So that's why I can only give it like a 3 out of 5 for my overall impression. But definitely an improvement over the first one. And maybe if they make a third one, they can learn from their mistakes that they did with the first two and actually create a truly terrifying and interesting and entertaining and great film with it. Though it probably not. And you know, just, you know, you can preach, you can have a message, but there's just ways of doing it that are not, you know, overblown. And honestly, the whole like evil rich thing is so cliche nowadays. I mean, for fuck's sake. Like, I know The Purge is ridiculous because people won't act that way. I mean, for the most part, most people, and that is including rich people, aren't going to go out of their way to start murdering people. You know, that's a small amount of the population. So, I mean, of that is just ridiculous. But, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's overblown. I kind of get sick with it. I want to see something more original when it comes to the villains. At least, I mean, but in the end, it's a solid movie. Not bad, not the greatest, but there you go. The Purge Anarchy. Yeah, you know, like they show these freaky guys in there, but they're like in the movie very short amount of time. But they kind of have that aura of evil vileness to them. So there you go. That's it for tonight's episode. So you guys stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where I don't know, I think I'm gonna do another recent one, a movie that came out this year. So hopefully, once again, don't worry, I'm still gonna like dive into the craziness and the older stuff and the more obscure stuff. However, I do want to do a quick note why there hasn't been any like split screen extra video. I know the first video I did, I was working till like 2 in the morning on it, so you know, episode 1, there was no way I was going to do it. I tried to do it for yesterday's episode, but when I went to my software to take the DVD and put it to video, it was expired and they wanted me to download the latest version. And when I go to the website, I couldn't, like the website wasn't there or I couldn't connect, so either the website is down or they no longer exist. And I can't use that because that software because it keeps saying download the new edition, download the new edition. So I panicked, I went and tried to find another bit of software, but that did not work at all. It was a freaking artifact pixel storm. So I just ended up scrapping it. And I'm gonna be really busy this weekend, so I'm gonna look to see if I can figure out a way to get that going. But in a way, it's sort of a good thing because I do have a new camera. I don't know if you've noticed, but I do have a new camera. Unfortunately, it does the AVC HD, and my free, because I'm a cheap bastard, video editing software hates it doesn't work for those. So I actually have to convert this video to MP4, which for a 10-minute video takes about an hour and a half. So it would definitely I definitely have a lot more time. I mean, it takes a lot more time to make these videos now. So in a way, it's a good thing because then I don't have to spend so much time to get it out there for you guys, but I want to like add like more quality and better stuff and more entertainment. So, you know, I'm just kind of conflicted, but I'll do have to spend some time looking for something that's going to work as a replacement. However, maybe you guys can tell me in the comments if you really mind if there's the split screen thing or clips, or you don't care, as long as, you know, I have like a interesting movie to review and I have a good take on it. And also tell me what you guys think about the Purge Anarchy. I know that Robbie's Mom 1 didn't like it that much, and I can see why. But anyways, and stay tuned for next episode, and I will see you, and stay scary, Internet. Rah!